Picture this: a city where mountains lean close to the sea, where coconut palms sway beside frankincense trees, and where a seasonal mist turns desert browns into 1,000 shades of green. This is Salalah, the jewel of Oman's Dhofar region, a place where roads are not just asphalt and paint, but ribbons that tie together coast, mountain, and plain. Today, we are taking you on a journey across Salalah's road network, through its beautiful architecture, and into the heart of the Khareef season, celebrating the magic, but also recognizing the challenges and the lessons learned from past storms. Our road trip begins on the coastal side of the city, where Sultan Qaboos Street runs like a spine through daily life. It's the way many travelers first meet Salalah, gliding past modern neighborhoods, local eateries, and stretches of beach that seem to slide forever along the Arabian Sea. Side streets peel off toward the bustling markets of Haifa Souk, and further along, toward the promenades and playgrounds that come alive after sunset. The coastal roads feel wide and open, tuned for a relaxed pace, shaped by the rhythm of fishing boats and the scent of sea breeze. Head inland, and the city begins to rise. The roads start to bend and breathe, gentle curves at first, then sharper turns as we approach the hillside quarters. The famous Eitan Road, sometimes written Atain, climbs toward the green escarpments that define Salalah's skyline. In Khareef, this road can feel like a tunnel through cloud, with mist curling over the bonnet and water beating on the glass. It's a drive that encourages patience and respect. The higher you go, the more you understand that Dhofar is sculpted by seasons, and the roads are built to negotiate with nature rather than to dominate it. To the west, the highway skims past Al-Mughsal, where blowholes breathe fountains through the rock and the surf writes white foam on black stone. The coastal stretch here is one of the most cinematic drives in Arabia. Sheer cliffs, curves carved into the mountainside, the sea in endless conversation with the land. The engineering is quiet but impressive, cutting stabilized, drainage carefully managed, guardrails hugging the edges. You feel looked after, even as the scenery steals your attention. And to the east, roads thread past coconut plantations and banana groves, out toward Taka and Mirbat, where the line between urban and rural blurs. It's a gentle transition, one moment roundabouts and cafes, the next moment fields and sea and old stone. In every direction, the network connects neighborhoods to schools, clinics to markets, ports to industrial zones. Trucks hum toward Raysat, families move between beaches and mountain picnic spots, and visitors test their lungs on elevated curves. Windows down, hands outstretched to feel the mist. But it's not only the roads that catch the eye in Salalah. The city's architecture is a conversation between memory and modernity. Traditional Dhofari homes favor thick walls and small, shaded openings, built to buffer heat and channel breezes. You'll see carved wooden doors, arched frames, and bright accents against whitewashed surfaces. In the heart of Salalah, mosques rise with clean geometry, domes that catch the soft light, minarets that draw the eye upward. The aesthetic is confident and unhurried, Omani proportions, generous courtyards, and a color palette that sits comfortably beside the greenery of Khareef and the muted tones of the dry season. Walk around Al-Haifa and you'll meet an architecture of daily life, verandas that invite conversation, shops tucked beneath colonnades, facades detailed but never fussy, past and present overlap in places like Al-Bailed Archaeological Park and the Frankincense Land Museum, where the story of incense, this region's ancient gift to the world, shapes the narrative of the city. Even Salalah's newer developments often echo the soft arches and shaded recesses of traditional forms, proving that modern can also be modest, and beauty can still be practical. Yet every year, the city pauses for the same turning of the seasons. Khareef arrives, June to September, and the monsoon breathes in from the Indian Ocean. Temperatures dip, clouds drop, and the brown hills awaken in green. Waterfalls stitch white lines down rock faces. Wadis begin to murmur and then sing, and the whole landscape wears a living halo of mist. Tourists come by the hundreds of thousands, and the roads welcome them like long, patient hosts. But Khareef's grace brings difficulty too, and it is honest to name them. The first is visibility. On mountain roads, Eitan, Wadi Darbat, and the higher plateaus, the mist can slow the world to a few car lengths. Headlights must be on, speed must be down, and patience becomes part of the journey. The second is slipperiness. After months of heat, a light film of dust and oil sits on the roads. The first rains turn it slick, even at city speeds. Braking distances lengthen and gentle corners can surprise a distracted driver. The third is water itself. Wadis that look dry at noon can swell by afternoon, and a playful stream can become a fast, brown surge. The culverts and channels that keep water moving are tested, and sometimes overwhelmed. Traffic is the everyday challenge during peak Khareef weekends. Popular picnic spots, waterfalls, and viewpoints create bottlenecks. Roundabouts near beaches clog at sunset. Mountain laybys fill early, and roadside parking expands to shoulders that were never designed for it. The city responds with diversions, temporary barriers, cones, and marshals, and the familiar Omani courtesy that helps the flow, drivers waving one another through, families waiting while children cross in raincoats, visitors learning that here, a slower pace is part of the charm. The lessons behind these measures were written in water by past storms. Salalah knows what the Arabian Sea can bring. Cyclones spinning up from warm waters have brushed and battered Dhofar across the decades, each leaving its own signature. When a major system strikes, the coastline takes the first hit, surge pushing at sea walls, waves chewing at the bases of cliffs, and then the inland catchments respond as rain funnels into wadis. Roads become lifelines and liabilities at the same time. They carry aid and access, but they also cross the very channels that must be respected. If you've been here after a big storm, you've seen the evidence: sand and stones fanned across carriageways, guardrails twisted where a flow broke free, edges of pavement undercut by runoff. Crews work fast, and they work everywhere at once, clearing debris, regrading slopes, pumping pooled water, inspecting bridges and culverts, setting day tours that weave around damaged sections. After the emergency, you can spot the upgrades, written quietly into the landscape: wider drainage mouths, deeper channels, new retaining walls, rockfall meshes cinched against fresh-cut faces. Adaptation is not a headline in Salalah. It is a habit. Khareef also teaches small, everyday skills that keep people safe. Locals know to leave early for the mountains and return before dark. They park above the wadi floor, even when the stream looks gentle. They carry jackets and drive with lights on even at noon. They check the forecast, but more importantly, they read the sky, the feel of the wind, the thickness of the mist, the way the hills sound when water is running. Visitors learn these lessons, too, often from friendly advice at a petrol station or from the family at the next picnic spot who says, with a smile, better not cross there today. And what of the future? Salalah's planners are weaving resilience into beauty. New road designs lean into the terrain rather than fighting it. Shoulders become safer places to pause. Drainage is treated as architecture, visible, maintained, and celebrated when it works. Public spaces link with pedestrian routes so that not every viewpoint demands a car. Where the city meets the sea, promenades and parks are being shaped to absorb and deflect rather than simply resist. The goal is simple and ambitious: to keep Salalah open and welcoming in all seasons, without losing the character that makes it special. The architecture follows the same logic. Shading and cross-ventilation reduce energy load. Thick walls and smart glazing keep cool air where it belongs. Courtyards return as lungs for buildings. Materials are chosen for durability and maintenance in a salty, humid air. Landscaping leans native, frangipani, coconut, date, and the frankincense tree that is Dhofar's emblem. So, that gardens survive the seasons and streets, remain green without waste. If you visit in Khareef, come with time. Drive gently. Use your lights. Park where the land is high and solid. Listen to the locals. And remember that mist is not just water in the air, it is the city breathing. If you come outside Khareef, you'll see a different Salalah: golden afternoons, calm seas, long horizons, and roads that feel wider because the clouds have lifted. The architecture still sings, the markets still bustle, the frankincense still burns sweet and slow. Salalah is a living story written in stone and green and salt and rain. Its roads carry that story from door to door and ridge to ridge. Its buildings give it shape. Its seasons give it soul. And its people, patient, practical, and proud, give it grace. Whether you're a visitor with a camera, a driver who loves a good road, or a dreamer who hears music in the rain, this city will welcome you. Follow the curves, respect the weather, and let the Khareef teach you how a place can be both wild and wise, both soft and strong. This is Salalah, where the journey is as beautiful as the destination, and the road itself becomes part of the view.